Should have got.
And he was out there.
Try to sneak in next time.
I know. That's, if anything, Car Week is about trying to sneak into stuff.
What free stuff can you get away with? Oh yeah, clap.
Clap. We're back.
Wait,
What's up?
are we recording?
Yeah, it's
we're
recording.
recording.
Yes.
I wasn't paying attention. You're on top of
this.
this.
I try to be.
All right.
We're back.
We're back.
It's been a few weeks.
It has.
Yes,
We've been
a few
busy.
weeks. We've been very busy. Life, job changes, things, all kinds of stuff.
Job changes.
Well, James had a job change.
I had a job change.
I
Yeah,
had
and
a
I'm-
promotion.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you guys.
Yeah. So we're
I
trying
hope it
to
was a
climb
good
the
job
corporate
change.
ladder.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a very good job change.
I had to travel for work.
That's fun. It can be. I
Actually, it was. It was a good trip.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you go to? Was it New Mexico?
No, it was.
I went to Arizona.
Arizona. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Arizona.
It was 115 degrees.
Well.
Oh, that sounds
Fahrenheit.
wonderful. I love the heat. All right, guys.
Okay. Let's talk
As I pull out my handy dandy notebook.
Car Week.
So
2024 Car Week.
Recap.
2024
Recap.
Car Week recap, as well as some brief history of
Brief
Car Week.
history.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the history of Car Week?
Actually, I
know
don't.
I
This
didn't
was
either.
the 73rd Pebble Beach Concours.
74.
See, I thought it started off as like a car show on Pebble Beach, and then it kind of
74.
spawned.
Then why did they say 73rd?
They
There
might
wasn't
be
one in
like 1 year-
2020.
There wasn't one in 2020.
They don't count 2020.
I think
They
they're
didn't do it.
also, yeah, so it's the 74th year
Okay, that makes sense. Yep.
of it existing.
Yep.
But it's the 73rd actual Car Week. So we'll get to that. So
All right.
Pebble Beach Concours de Elegance was started in 1950.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard to figure out who like the main player of it
Yeah.
was, but his name was Sterling Edwards.
Okay.
I don't know if he was like the sole institution of it, but Pebble Beach, the concourse actually started second to the Pebble Beach Road Race, which also started in 1950. So it was just
On 17 Mile Drive?
I don't know if they did. Oh, well, it may have not looked like that back then in the 50s, but yes. So what they did is they had a road course down there, near the golf course.
Fun fact.
And
Can you imagine what that would have been like?
oh yeah, just like crazy. I mean,
but in what kind of car? Just like
it was dang, I have it written down. It was a R26 Speedster Sport Roadster, something like that.
have to put a
special
picture of that
special
up in
sport
the video.
roadster. Yeah, that's what it's called. Special sport roadster. I'll put a picture of it. It's very like
British
like that early. No, like that early Ferrari like
Like open top.
long hood. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But because I think I want to say in the next couple years he had like a 450 Ferrari.
Oh, whoa. That's some serious hardware.
Yeah, so that's how it started. It started out as like almost like an after event to then display the cars that had been racing, and then in the early years of it,
And that was it,
Yeah.
right? It was just those two events.
yeah, it was just those two events in the beginning. So it was just
It's like Car Weekend.
right. It was just Car
Weekend.
And as the years went on, it turned into Car Week as more and more events. Like every year, just last year they added a new event, the Monterey Motorsports Festival, that they do on I think it's the fairgrounds, and that event is car related. But then it also brought in like some other stuff. Like they had like an entire there's like this big dirt section on the fairgrounds, and they had like a bunch of like construction
off-roading
equipment and like off-roading stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? Oh, okay.
They're like big Caterpillar machines. And
Oh,
things like
I'm
that.
sorry, I missed that.
Damn.
I totally would have gone and checked that out.
Yeah,
It's like adult-sized
Once again, it's just like
trucks.
right. It's a cool event, but once again, as Car Week goes, it's not a cheap event. I think the ticket for it was maybe like in the $150, $200 range.
Well, that pales in comparison to
To
Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach.
Or
How much
Quail.
How much was Pebble Beach this year?
Pebble Beach this year was $595
Oh, really?
for general admission.
Oh.
GA though, but like all the other.
But you have to buy the
super
ticket
fancy stuff.
now.
Well, two years ago, it was-
350 days in advance.
no, you can. I think you can get tickets. I don't remember how far. So 2 years ago, I actually paid for tickets for my dad and I.
Oh, cool.
Chance of a lifetime, right? It was $425.
Oh wow.
It was a big.
Yeah, it's a big
But-
to just for one day.
We
'cause-
had to do it.
Yeah, the concourse is only one day. But yeah, so that's essentially how it started, and then over the years, it was to show off new cars, which is very different from how
For manufacturers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
They still do that.
They still do that, but it's not so much the main staple of Pebble Beach anymore. Pebble Beach has become more of a classic car. I almost want to say every time I hear about it, it's like pre-war vehicle, or
Just in
both.
general.
Yeah.
Right. There's different classes.
Right.
There's different classes. Yeah. There's like special classes that they
Yeah, that they
which
kind
this
of
year
bring
was
in.
really,
Then
really
they
cool.
also have the
Which we'll talk
concept
about.
lawn as well.
Yep. Yep.
So pretty much Car Week is centered around this event, but as opulent and rich folks do, because I guess I should also explain what concours means. Concours means concours de elegance in French means competition of elegance.
It's like a beauty pageant for cars.
Essentially, yes. And it was something
Concours
that
de lemons mean.
It's a concours
competition
of
of
crappy
lemons,
looking
crappy
cars.
cars, which we went to Lemons.
Which was
Did you?
great.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
I go every year.
I liked
'cause
it.
It's just a really fun.
I'm sorry
free event.
I missed out.
It's okay.
It's cool.
Okay. We'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
So, because what was going on, concours were happening in Europe in like, the 30s, the 20s, 30s, up until like the 50s. And they wanted to bring some of that over to the United States.
Pause during World War II.
Probably.
Probably.
There was there's
This
a
is
lot happening.
slight
in the
delay.
war. Slight delay.
And
But it was something that had been going on before, and there's still a lot of them in Europe. I can't name any of them, but it was something I brought up to James. I was
they're
like,
still pretty big.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we should totally try doing some Car Week stuff in other countries, because I guess we'll kind of get into that. Is that here it's like there's a large air of exclusivity around Car Week
Yes.
and having the right connections and knowing the right people.
Yeah.
Yes.
To an extent, but you can still very much so enjoy it as a normal.
Yeah, you can
commoner.
still
I know,
pay
I'll-
$500 or whatever.
I'll
and-
tell you how you don't have to do that.
All right.
How?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
So when I guess what was James? When was the first time you went to Car Week? What year?
I've always wanted to go to Car Week. I just never had the opportunity to go. I would always see like pictures of it online
too.
or like new.
Living in the Midwest.
I know. Yeah. It's just yeah in the frigid tundra of Chicago.
Right. You're like they're on the sunny golf course in the middle of
like,
summer.
Stuck here. I first was able to go to Car Week in 2017 when I had the Hellcat Charger.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, like, there was the whole like. I feel like that era between 2015 and 2018 was like Dodge.
Really?
At least for me, like all
Well,
the
I guess
all
so,
the
'cause
car
they had
clubs.
all the really good. I want to say, 2013 or 2014 is when we got the smoother Charger.
Yeah, not the boxy looking one.
so we
and
got, like-
they were selling like hotcakes. I
was a
feel like
gorgeous
everybody
car.
in the Bay Area had one, and there were a bunch of different Dodge Charger car clubs that were like making their way.
And they're all
they
down at Car
either go all to SEMA, like they choose like specific events to all kind of like latch onto.
Right.
And for whatever reason, I think 2017 was like the year for Charger. All the car clubs that hate each other like were able to unite for once.
When did
was
the
the-
first Hellcat come out?
The first, I feel
It was around that-
2015.
yeah,
2015
okay,
was the maybe 2015 and a half. What's
Yeah.
funny is the car's made in Canada, so the Canadians got it first. So there's actually a few VINs that are like Canadian specific that are like lurking around the United States. Like it was made for the Canadian market
Does
first,
that
and somehow
make them one of something rare, and so they're
Probably not,
But
and they're
I
probably
mean,
all crashed
The only like difference
or stolen and crashed.
Like Canada is considered NAR. Same thing with Mexico.
Yeah.
So there's not much difference between.
There's
I
like a
was just
few.
kidding.
There's like, for example,
Besides,
and
like,
this is
everything we
kind
get in
of this is like a
kilometers.
sidetrack comment, but like some of those Canadian cars have heater blocks in them.
But no, that's an option you can get on the. Like
But
if you go on the Dodge website and spec
I know,
out like any
but
Dodge
they were
vehicle.
spec'd, but they were dealer spec'd with it. So there's like a few American cars that like the option is heater block, which is kind of silly. But okay, anyways,
But you could get it here. Because I mean, like it
You
gets cold
could.
in Chicago and Michigan if you really wanted it. I don't know anybody who personally had it.
no,
but-
nobody would use it.
Right.
Nobody's-
First of all, I
mean,
don't think anybody knew how to use
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass.
So
but
2017 was your first
2017
year.
was the first year. I drove up with a friend of mine. Just did the day, and since I was living in San Francisco, it was kind of a good. Depending on the traffic, obviously we know the logistics of it. Like go early. leave your house
Super
as early
early.
as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be on the road going to Monterey
At
Yeah.
10, 11
101
o'clock
or 1.
lunchtime.
Yeah, it is a
That
disaster.
stretch of California 1 from like where the 156 is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
when they
no
all
way
merge
Monterey.
together, it's pretty
Yeah.
rough.
There's really no other way to get there besides those, you know,
No,
couple
yeah,
roads,
you're
right?
right.
So made it down there early in 2017, and of course somehow I ran into all the caravan of Dodge people, and I didn't want to have anything to do with these folks
like,
at all.
I don't know
They're like,
you,
"Hey, hang
I
out
don't-
and stop." I'm like, "No, I'm good, and I'll see you guys later," because it's all like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was really cool, and that I was really able to kind of soak up a lot of that car spotting culture. Was just kind of just driving around parking lots. I didn't, because I was driving, I didn't really like get out, but I would say the best time I had was the exotics on Broadway when they were first, like, when it was like really big. I feel like
Right.
either 2017 or 2018. That's when it like really blew up.
It was a much nicer event. Not that it's a bad event now. It's as Car Week goes, as media has grown bigger, it's just become
so big.
very, not bloated, but there's a lot going on. And
Yeah.
if you have any sense of like FOMO, you're just like, dang, like I missed it
I
all.
missed it out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you can catch pretty much everything if you just kind of center around. So geographically, we're in San Francisco. Car Week is about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of where we are.
Yeah.
And then it takes place now. It takes place over pretty much 3 cities: Seaside, Monterey, actually
Carmel.
4: Seaside, Monterey,
Carmel.
Carmel, and Salinas.
where the
Because-
racetrack
where
is.
the racetrack
yeah.
is, where Laguna Seca is.
Yeah.
And the problem is, it's not necessarily a problem, it's a good thing. There's something happening in each one of those places all at once
Yeah.
on certain days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you got to
could
pick and
literally-
choose what you want to do.
Yeah. So it's a lot. My first Car Week, what was my first Car Week? 2022.
Oh, that was mine.
Oh, that's pretty recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't had only,
You didn't move out here.
I didn't move here to 21. So my first Car
okay.
Week was 22, and I had went down with Mauricio and
Cool.
like their little band of people.
The
and,
SP Motors.
no,
folks.
no.
Oh, Mauricio.
Thomas.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah. With this, like,
Ollie
little-
Inc.
Oli
Inc.
Yeah. He has a buddy of ours has a clothing brand
And car collector.
and car collector. Yeah.
Did I meet Mauricio? I met Mauricio.
You've met Mauricio because
Yeah.
the building.
Because of the building. Yeah. Nice guy.
I've met Mauricio too.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah. So we had went down there and we were at Exotics on Broadway. Thomas at the time had a F12 TDF that we just kind of set up the booth next to.
Oh yeah, he had a feature there, right? Yeah.
And we just kind of hung out and it was really, really cool. I was just down there for the whole day just at that event, so I didn't get to see. I won't say I didn't get to see much. I got to see a lot because at Exotics on Broadway, there was like Koenigsegg's driving down.
Oh, it's
and
wild.
Pagani's and like.
I feel like it's Pagani and Koenigsegg's car show.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
They have a huge presence there because I feel like the whole like the LA car scene just like
It's very exotic. on Broadway.
swarms that show.
Yeah, so and actually that year is probably the year that I saw the most kind of YouTubers because I ran
influencers
into
and YouTubers.
Yeah, the DDE crowd was there.
Horrible people. Scam. Everything they do is a scam.
Yeah, they're not the. I won't say horrible, but they're not the most favorable folks on the internet. But hey, they're getting views and they make a lot more money than I do. So
Exactly. More power to them.
But I did get to talk to Mr. JWW. He's like a British YouTuber, and I almost want to say like he's like really in with like the Koenigsegg guys and like
Kind of exotics and
yeah,
high
very
end.
like high end like
Yeah.
watch car kind of person.
Yeah.
A very nice guy to talk to.
I feel like is he a car collector and car broker? I
Yes,
thought he was like
I
a
think
sales.
so. I think you can never really know with any of these people.
It's
do.
like literally his YouTube channel is like the JRWW collection.
Yeah,
You know. So
ran into him, and then of course I didn't speak to them, but I saw like Ed Bolian and Tavares,
another YouTube.
just all walking around, just like so many people.
Car Trek.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Auto Tempest.
But yeah, so that was my first year. Actually, that year, a buddy of mine, previous boss, actually was he still is a car transporter, and he let me drive like a couple of the cars. So I ended up drove.
Nice.
I drove an SF90 that day.
Oh, what?
A Ford GT, like the new one.
A Mark II, yeah, Ford GT
and
Mark
then,
II.
Thomas's F12.
Oh, I love that F12.
It was really nice.
I love that
I
F12.
almost destroyed it, but that's
What?
all right.
I feel like everybody that drives that car almost destroys it.
Because it has a. So I was helping him load him onto the trailer, and it has like a single clutch, old school transmission.
Yeah.
So like you're like rocking.
It's a very
using it-
aggressive. I
Yeah.
don't think it's a single clutch, but I think it's a very aggressive dual clutch.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know if that.
Regardless, it's the opposite of like
Smooth,
an
yeah.
electric vehicle with creep mode.
Yeah, no.
Right.
There
It's
was
not
no.
happening.
There is no. Well, any kind of dual clutch or single clutch car like that. They don't creep. So you're just like, so you go and then you're like, oh, I'm rolling, and then you're like, now I'm just like shaking the whole
it's
trailer back
hard.
and forth, and then like it just kind of got away from me. And I was like, okay, we'll just roll all the way down and restart. But no, I did not destroy $1 million car that day. Thank
Dude.
God.
Launch it off the car.
That car is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, it was a gorgeous car. It was I
Blue
think it was
with,
in
like,
Tour de
yellow.
France, like blue.
Yeah.
So,
It's gorgeous.
because that's what TDF stands for. But yeah, so you said 2022 was also your first car week?
2022. Yeah.
Wow,
So I
okay.
just moved here in May of that year.
Oh, okay. We didn't know each other.
Fun
yet.
fact.
My mom and dad came out
Oh.
that summer, so my dad and I went down for Works reunion. Mm-hmm. That was the first.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, I did that 22, and then last year I didn't go this year.
One of many free events.
Yeah.
Free. Yeah.
free.
If you can find a place to park.
Well, you know what? Where Works is kind of centered on that golf course, you could easily park like in the city, and a lot of people don't know.
And
it.
like walk in.
and walk a block. And
Yeah.
you're
It's super
there.
easy.
You
Yeah.
get there early enough, right?
No, honestly, if you
Really?
get there midday,
The
that
corral parking is.
That's what we did.
yeah, the corral
Yeah.
parking is it'll sell out quick and it fills up really fast.
Yeah.
But no, like so let me explain this again to Monterey, Seaside are like beach bum towns.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
They're
they
not
are, very much.
It's not like being in like a fancy neighborhood. Now, 17-mile drive down to Carmel, gated community, golf course, completely
Exactly.
different vibe. But Monterey and Seaside,
They kind of. I wouldn't say they're like beach bum towns, like sleepy,
Yeah, like-
beach towns.
yeah,
Beach
like
bummy
sleepy
in
beach
a
town.
positive way. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm not
just
saying
kind of
that
laid back surfer
because
towns.
it's right. It's not like a crappy time by any means.
Yeah.
It's still a really nice area. But like when it's not car week, it is a very normal
empty.
place to be.
Yeah. It's normal. Yeah.
So like
It's more. I would say it's almost farming communities because there's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of farming around there.
A
Right?
lot of farming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because like on the outskirts of Monterey and Seaside, there's nothing. Like there's
Yeah.
pretty much just city at the water's edge for the most part.
Yeah.
And then farming.
Well, not like nothing,
And then
but
Gilroy
like small
with
town.
garlic.
Yeah. So you can like park around there because there's the neighborhood isn't full. People aren't taking over everything.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. So we did that, and then I paid the ticket price to go to
400.
$425 a piece. My dad and I went to Pebble Beach, but we figured like we're coming out of the pandemic. This could be a
Let's-
chance in a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
go do it.
Yeah.
It's been my mission since then to be able to go see it again for free, and I
Yeah.
did that this year. So
that's wonderful.
Because you were judging,
volunteered, right?
I
Or
volunteered.
volunteered.
Oh yeah, no. So the judges like are hand selected.
Oh yeah, no, they're like
and are
indoctrinated
expert-
into.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
I-
You
I-
don't just become a Pebble Beach judge.
I think it's like race car drivers. Like they probably
Really?
pull you as a small child and start teaching you
to
It's like a Jedi.
a judge. Yeah.
Yeah. So in my little circle of people, I want to say somebody I know, like his friends' parents, have been judging there,
Oh,
like
really?
forever.
or they have like a girlfriend or something that has just been doing it since the dawn of time.
It's fun to watch the judges.
But it's
do their job.
important because
Yeah.
that dictates like the classic car market,
Yeah.
right? And then from a resale standpoint, if a car wins a concours, it's like
Right.
it's almost
Oh,
like
yeah.
a badge of honor,
Oh, yeah.
right? Hey, this car is has been either meticulously restored or it has been preserved in a way where it's kept its history and
Yeah.
everything. And like if it wins it or comes in even like second or third place, it has huge. I guess one is maybe like value for the owner. Like my car has won. It's almost like a horse pageant or something like that,
Right.
right?
No,
like,
it's essentially 'cause it's the same kind of
but
people.
there's
Kinda-
serious money on the line.
It confirms the provenance of the cars.
sure,
Right.
sure.
But even to the point of money, there is a statistic every year of the amount of cars sold at Pebble Beach. Well, not the amount, but the fiscal, like the monetary amount.
The total.
This year it was $459 million worth of
Dude,
vehicles
so
sold
this is
over
crazy.
1 week.
So I can go into an hour long of the economy and the kind of metrics of like the classic car market. So basically, in a sense, classic cars have become like a tax deferred asset for a lot of rich people.
Yeah.
It's like artwork.
Yeah, same thing with fine works of art. Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's why I think the car market or classic car market, especially events like these that make these cars appreciate more, even like it's ballooned. I wouldn't say it's like a bubble, but like it's become way super important.
Oh yeah.
That these cars be there, that they're shown.
Yep.
There's obviously some people that aren't like billionaires, but you know, they bought the Ferrari, you know, 250 GTO in like a, you know, in a garage, but they just had it forever, or it's like second or third generation. So you do have a portion of people that are that they don't really care about the value of the car. They just care about the history of the car.
Because they had it well before it became
it was
valuable.
worth anything. Yeah. But then you've got billionaires are like buying these cars
So
for
on a
some
lesser
ungodly amount of money.
scale, could I take some of my rescue cars to Concours de Lemons and have them used
Well,
in
you know
value?
what? So
Maybe
by
not.
a
Maybe
couple
reduce the
grand?
value of the car.
Yeah. So Lemons is another free event. They hold it at the Seaside City Hall. They have like a really nice grass lawn in front of their city hall, and it's a very fun
I think
event.
that'd be fun to see. I haven't done that yet.
It's probably, I want to say, a field of like maybe 40 to 50 cars.
Okay.
And it's literally like the crappiest of the crappy cars, the ugly ducklings of the family.
Yeah.
The Pontiac Aztecs of the
They
world.
had two Pontiac Aztecs with the pop out tents.
Beautiful.
And like every option.
Chef's kiss.
But just a lot of stuff like that. And then some of the cars at Lemons are pushing it. Some of them are like not actual Lemons, is because I feel like this year it could also fall into a little bit of a classic car show as well.
It was
'Cause
like what was an example? Like a 100-mile Acura.
yeah, it was like a Honda Accord or
Well,
something
Honda
like that,
Accord
and it was
with
like
like 1,000
pristine. And
miles
I'm
on
like, this
it.
is not a limit.
Oh, that's not a limit.
Right. But some of the more fun stuff.
Well, it smelled like the 1980s inside
right,
it.
yeah.
The plastic and the cloth and all that stuff.
no, but some of the
I
cars
can
are
smell
literally
that right now.
I know.
My first
yeah,
car.
it's a very particular smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the cars are literally falling
So-
apart.
But so we haven't mentioned. So the second year I went, you and I went together to Legends of the Autobahn, which is another awesome.
So
event.
last year I guess we can also talk about how long Car Week is. So it used to be Car Weekend.
Yeah.
Car Week starts. It's the second week of August, second week of August, and it is from Sunday to Sunday. And there is something happening from that Sunday to the
Every day there's
Every
something
single
going
day.
on. Yeah.
and you know, it kind of starts with like the kickoff on Sunday, and like it really kicks off because when I say the folks are flying in, the floats are flying in. Like, so when you're at the Works reunion on Friday, you get like a lot of the last minute people because there's like a private
You see all
airport,
the-
and you literally just see everybody's jet just flying over because they're trying to get there for the weekend.
Oh yeah, and you know the weeks leading up to that around the Bay Area, you see everybody's arriving from
Prepping.
Montana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's
You know, driving in from
driving their $20 million McLaren with a Montana plate
down
because
from Montana, right?
you know,
because that's
no,
where they all live.
Right.
'cause
Yeah.
California
that's where,
taxes
wink, wink.
are
That's where they all live.
You're right. But yeah, so Car Week has become a I won't say a pissing contest because that's just me being really mean, but yeah, but it's
Well, I feel like in my personal opinion, what Car Week has become since it started, I feel like it was more of like a grassroots. Even the Pebble Beach stuff was more like just a bunch of people getting together and have an excuse just to have like a weekend and have some fun, and there just so happen to be cars there.
I think I want to say from my light research, I want to say yes, but these were all still very wealthy people.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
they're
of course.
And it's
Yeah.
also important to mention that the Concours really is a charitable event too. So I
Yes.
think over the history of
They
it,
do raise a bunch of money.
Yes,
they've
a
raised
lot
like
of
$50
money.
million. I think
a
over
lot
the
of money.
history of the
That's pretty
Concours.
cool.
But
Pales in comparison to the $450
9
million
millions of things
Jesus.
just sold.
But that's still a lot of money that's going to.
Oh, of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
still a large portion of money going to charity.
Yeah, so pretty much from the beginning to the end of Car Week, it's everything on the road is priceless almost. Like you're
Yeah.
seeing
People are driving
one
these
of
cars.
one, two of two. And what I
Pre-war
really appreciate
Alfa
about Car Week,
Romeos. Yeah, it's
they're
crazy.
driving though. And
run what you brung.
Right.
Park your Bugatti on the street in
It's
Carmel.
wild. It's crazy.
And you know, because they even have like the little like drive up or like up the hill to Pebble Beach or whatever, where you get to see like a lot of the cars that are going to be on the lawn the next day. Like literally like. When I say priceless, I mean like if you looked at it the wrong way, your wallet is screaming at you. But yeah, it's a wonderful event. But yeah, so 23 we did the long weekend. So I feel like if you're a working class citizen and you don't take the whole week off, what most people do is they do Thursday, Friday, and the long weekend.
That's what we did last year.
Because a lot of the main events kind of pick up on Thursday and Friday. So Thursday is typically Legends of the Autobahn, which is all of the
fun. It's
German
Mercedes,
everything, which is also a free event.
Mercedes, BMW,
Audi. Yep.
Are those corporate sponsored events or is it just
They're
cars?
car club.
They're
Car
car
clubs.
clubs.
They're car clubs.
So a lot of the
BMW, SSCA, Audi.
Yep, the Audi car club.
Yeah.
Mercedes Club. I'm sorry we didn't go this year because we missed out on a lot of really neat cars.
So I had COVID, so I wasn't leaving any house anytime.
But any highlights?
sorry.
Any highlights that you saw from?
So Jason Camissa was there with his new 850 CSI.
Yep.
Oh well,
I'm a fan
Not
of.
not yours.
Not yours.
Mine was there last year.
Yeah. Why didn't you take it this
M539
year?
I was working.
Oh yeah, that's right. Work.
No work. We love work.
Work.
M539 Restorations. Stretton was there with his ring taxi project
Oh, sick.
Fresno.
I love that.
Yeah.
A rescued E60 M5 that came out of Copart in Fresno.
Oh wow.
That he spent the week with Camissa fixing up.
That's nice.
Did it run?
Oh, it ran.
It's running?
He did it, and if you're not familiar with M539 Restorations on YouTube, you got to go watch his channel. I mean,
Yeah.
he does really nice job fixing cars.
That
up.
car is
But he
the
had
giant
it
pain in the ass
stickered
to
up.
work on.
Yeah, well, he stickered it up like a ring taxi.
Yeah.
I love
and had
it.
the image of Sabine, the Queen of the Ring, on
that's
the side
really nice.
as a
Yeah.
tribute to her.
Rest in
That was
peace.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there was it was badged as an 858 CSL. So I don't know much about this car, but it started life as a E31.
The one
And
with the V10 in it.
yes.
Yeah, I saw pictures of this
Re-
car.
The
Revision
Bangle,
with
the
the
Bangle
V10.
version, right? The
Well, it's an E31
It's a 8
8 series,
series,
like
but he
mine.
swapped the V10 from
Yeah.
I gotta look
from
this
the
thing up. That
M5
sounds
into
wild.
it.
And the interior had like the E60
Oh,
instrument
right, the
panel,
dash and stuff.
Dash and
Yeah,
stuff.
like it's
well,
like
it
a
had the
full-
E31 dash, but the instrument panel. Sorry, I'm sorry I missed that this year.
Oh,
It's okay. And
Damn.
he was
Would've
kind
been
of
cool
just
to see.
driving it around. Because I saw like pictures of it on like Instagram, and he's like down at the beach on 17 Mile Drive. It
that's
was a
cool.
really cool build. I'll see if I can find some pictures online of that.
All right.
Yeah, so
What else?
Legends of the Autobahn, then Works Union on Friday, which is, because Porsche just desires to be separate from everybody all the time. They have their own event
and
on
there's
Friday.
like 10,000 people that show up because there's like
Porsches
Porsches
I think, bigger
falling
than
from the sky
Legends.
in the Bay Area.
well, yeah, so because
There's so many Porsches
yeah, specifically in California.
in California.
Every Porsche that was ever made is here, and they all are owned by tech billionaires.
So we've got a friend that says Porsche is the second largest. California is the second largest market for Porsche outside of Germany. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, it's
I
definitely
would
but I
true.
believe
disagree. I
What do you
mean,
think?
maybe by
Where else are they buying
volume,
though?
Connecticut, where all the hedge fund people are.
There's another YouTuber, a Porsche
But they
YouTuber.
they
there.
also have houses here,
Oh shit!
right? and their Porsche probably lives here, but they're like,
Because they can drive it 24/7 here versus
yeah, I mean,
only a
that's
couple
like a
days
big
out of
appeal.
yeah.
When I used to work on Porsches, like I had multiple customers. Their like only car was a Cayman GT4, or their only car was a GT3, or
Yeah.
It was very common here because it's very easy to do here. The roads are, for the most part, much better than the Midwest. I know we talked crap
and
on
they're still,
them.
yeah, but they're still terrible.
No, it's not Midwest terrible. I'm not hitting a pothole and losing a front bumper. I may hit a pothole and lose a tire, but I'm not
Bending
losing a
a
front
rim.
bumper.
Yeah.
But no, those cars are very daily drivable. So the Works Union, because I know it sold out really quick this year.
Oh,
And, yeah, and like if people were like fighting to get corral passes to be able to park their Porsche in the Porsche corral, which even like there's like the main event. So like it's on a golf course and there's like a little pond in the middle. So like there's like a big kind of square parking corral and they do like oldest to newest. And then like they do like Panameras and like Cayennes off on the side.
The bastard children.
But they're all there. You know, they have little flags to say what
They're
what
funding
generation it is.
everything.
Yeah, they are
funding
funding everything. Yeah.
And then on like the main kind of lawn, there's the different sections of judged cars because this is also another.
Yeah.
All of these events are judged, by the way. All of these concours, all of these events have judges.
And they have some vendors and food.
Yeah,
and
vendors,
some
food.
talks going on, right?
You know, Car Week is a good. If you want to network in the car world, is probably the perfect place to do it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but Werks, and then also tandem at the same time as Werks is Quail. I forgot to research Quail, but like
It's Quail the golf course, and that's like pretty much down the street from Monterey, Laguna Seca, Monterey, or in Salinas.
But Quail has become like the event to be at.
It's super fancy. Isn't it more expensive than Pebble?
I want to say a Quail ticket is like almost over $1,000
because it's all catered.
If you can buy one, because
it's catered. It's like a it's like a lawn party.
Yeah,
or something
pretty
like
much.
that. It's like a gala almost
for like the super rich, and also the people who are there showing off.
And they're debuting like new super hypercars.
Yeah, a lot
and
of
stuff
the
that.
the new hypercars, now new supercars. A lot of the new sports cars are debuted at Quail. And because this year, I want to say the new Tema Mario was revealed.
That reminds me, the Navara R was on the.
We saw one.
was on the
We saw the
concept.
white one.
We
Was
saw,
it a Navara R?
Not the R.
Not the R, but we saw a Navara just parked in the parking lot at
Rimac.
Spanish Bay.
They had a Navara R on the concept car lawn at Pebble Beach.
Yeah,
cool.
I did see the pictures of that.
I love that car.
It's a lot smaller in person.
It is. It's not a big car at all.
I
I
feel
feel,
like-
like in video or like every time I see it, like in a Top Gear episode or whatever, it looks huge. It looks long. It looks wide. But then you get up to it, it's like the size of
pretty
like a
small.
Lotus Evora or
Yeah,
whatever.
I feel this way about a lot of supercars. I think it's just because they're so low and wide.
It's the lines. It's like how your brain or like how our eyes interpret it, or
You know
just the
what-
way it comes up on a camera.
You know what else was on the concept car lawn?
What was that?
The A-Spark Owl, remember?
Oh,
I brought
Wait,
it
what
up.
you really liked?
The A-Spark Owl.
Oh, right.
It's a Japanese electric supercar
That's
that we
right.
talked about in
That's
the
right. That's right.
BEV Elemental P
Yeah.
episode.
Right.
Fun.
I think
fact.
the Navara and the A-Spark Owl may become my
New favorite electric
favorite.
hypercar.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say my what's James May's favorite?
Not the one that he rolled in and hurt
That
his knee
was
in,
that
right?
was
The-
that was not James May. That was
James May?
Richard Hammond.
I'm sorry, Richard.
Yeah, I hate to bring something up and then have a brain fart and I can't remember what it is.
That's okay. It'll
It's
come back to you,
a
Jeremy.
Dacia.
Oh, his favorite little ugly.
His favorite little ugly.
I forget what it is.
Mine
but
are
yeah.
like these electric supercars,
But they're
and I'm
not-
gonna bring them up at every chance I get.
the Rimac isn't like the A-Spark Owl is subjective, but the Rimac they're not ugly cars.
No, they're fantastic cars.
Yeah, no, they're pretty cars. They're not my personal favorite, but that's just because I have very subjective.
Dacia Sandero.
That's what it is.
Dacia
yeah.
Sandero.
It's like the really like snail
Right.
looking
Yeah.
car looking thing.
Oh, that thing is so fucking ugly.
But yes,
But it's an honest car. It doesn't pretend to be anything
right.
it's not.
Yes, it knows it's ugly and it knows it's a complete shitbox.
yeah. So I guess
And I'm not saying that those are complete shit boxes. I'm just saying I'm gonna bring them up at every opportunity I get.
oh yeah, oh
Annoy
yeah.
you
Shout
guys
out.
with it.
So moving down geographically,
Yep.
I guess we can kind of talk about our experience with Car Week this year, and then I can kind of talk about where everything happens. So me and James went down with some of my coworkers. We all piled in a
VW
Atlas.
Atlas, which I'm kind of considering to buy one.
It was really
Was it
nice, wasn't it? And that was an old one. Like
Was it somebody's car or was it a company car?
it was a company
It
car.
was a company car, yeah. Don't worry, we cleaned it and
We
filled it up
cleaned
with gas.
put the gas in it. It's not like a secret car or anything. It's a car allowed for things of this nature.
Why don't
Super
we get
practical.
the Touareg here anymore?
Just really quick tangent. It was a luxury VW similar to the Phaeton and other luxury VW products. That is on the MLB Evo. I can say this because it's public nature.
Yeah.
So it rides on the same platform as the Lamborghini Urus, Bentley Bentayga, Audi Q8, Q7, all that.
Yeah.
Touareg.
It's a $70,000 Volkswagen when it's fully optioned.
But we used to have the Touareg here. How much is an Atlas fully optioned?
50. Like that's as high as you can get. And like, and also the problem with the Touareg is that it's only a 5-seater. You cannot get it. It was
There's
like
no third row.
No, there's no third row. It was truly just like I had one. It's like a luxury Volkswagen. They had them here all up to like 2017, 2018.
You should see if you can find the old commercials about when they were first starting to sell the Touareg in America. It was like, it was so cheesy. They had a guy, like a handsome looking gentleman driving this like blue Touareg, and he would like drive up to this like girl and something about high school or whatever. Like, I didn't know you drove a VW Touareg. And he's like, yes, and now I'm a very successful businessman. It's like, I don't know.
There's just no business
cheesy.
case for it in the United States.
Yeah, they really try to figure out a way to sell it here.
Atlas, Tiguan, Taos are built in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're built here. They're built for us. They're built for our market.
They're built in Carolina, right? South Carolina?
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee, Tallahassee.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Yeah.
I got it. The Atlas is kind of ugly. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's ugly,
I'm
which is fine.
No,
It's not like offensive ugly. It's just-
it's a
I want it
gorgeous
to be
car.
ugly. I don't want people to pay
Touareg
attention.
Is gorgeous.
No, the Touareg is a gorgeous car.
Yeah.
Especially the one that we didn't get here. It has like soft closed doors and
Exactly.
everything. It's
Oh
gorgeous.
wow.
But no, the Atlas, I've always, when the Atlas came out, I was like, this was a very good idea. And I always thought it was a very good looking car. You have to look at the new Atlas. So we were in like a older
2020.
one. Yeah. But they
2019.
have a whole complete refresh, and it's a fully like spec'd out like R line Atlas is a very
Very nice.
looking car. Even it has a VW badge that lights up in the back.
Oh, like the ID4.
Yep, same exact style. Because everybody likes light bars and lights, and Volkswagen Group is just like everybody else.
I feel like the quality of VW at that price level, comparatively to a Mercedes or a BMW,
You're getting a lot more.
You're getting pretty decent quality.
Because
like,
if you wanted a GLS with the nice wheels, or a BMW X7, which these are 7-passenger cars that compete
Right.
with the Atlas,
Yeah.
with the captain's chairs, with self-driving, with the nice big touch screen and all of the bells and whistles and the top view camera. Like I said, you can only max out a Atlas at like $50,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
A GLS, you're at like 120.
Yeah.
yeah,
Especially if you wanted now the only thing that faults the Atlas is it's a transverse, so it's front wheel drive base. The Touareg was a rear wheel drive based SUV.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it had
Right.
like the Audi. It would have had like the Audi Quattro all wheel drive system in it. So it was very different. And that's also it just didn't make sense for our market.
Sorry for the tangent.
Yeah.
So
Tangent.
we went down
Anyways.
there in the Atlas. So you can do Car Week one of two ways. One car, all your buddies in it, car spot. Or you can show up, show out, you dust off
You
the
and your
Conan
buddies.
Seg.
Yeah,
And
you
all
and your
five
buddies.
of you show up in your CCX, Gira R's, your LaFerraris, your, Carrera GT. You could be the Sheik from, Dubai and show up in your G-Wagon 6x6 and your Land Delay and all of your other buddies.
that you flew over with your buddies.
Yeah, and it has the number 1 plate on it, which means that the plate costs $1 million too, because you pay
Or more.
or more. So there's 2 different ways to do Car Week. I really enjoyed how we did it. I made a little
I liked it how we did it.
yeah, so we all piled in the car, and because I'm just a dad on the inside, I packed a little cooler. We had snacks.
Oh, yeah.
We had little Capri Suns.
It was great.
And we started the day off with lemons, so we went to lemons.
Okay.
And then after lemons, we went to
The
RM.
auction. Yeah,
Yep, we went
RM
to
auction.
RM.
We didn't go inside.
We didn't go
But they
inside.
have the corral of cars going to the auction.
So you can see the.
You can
Well, the thing is, I don't think there was anything really in the building because they weren't driving the cars inside. Where that little circle was where we were driving, that was everything.
Oh.
So we really didn't miss anything.
Oh,
when
they
it
were
came
just
out.
showing them on a screen or something.
No, they were just all outside.
Oh.
Yeah. When they would show them on the auction inside, it was on the screen.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that because it's the Monterey Conference Center or something like that. I don't know if they have a way to get the cars inside, but it seemed like they had all of the lots just outside.
Yeah, there's some cool looking cars there.
My 2 favorite cars from there were probably the Spiker C8 La Violette
yeah, that was
and-
kind of a random one.
and the Saline S7.
Ooh, nice.
but it wasn't a Saleen S7 twin turbo.
Well, we don't know. It had the big wing, but it didn't say twin turbo in the back, so I don't know how to tell.
There's like only 3 of those.
Because like nobody has Saleen S7s. Nobody drives them. I never see them. They're just very rare. Are you
It's
looking
a
at what a
Le
Saleen
Mans
S7 looks
car.
like?
No, actually, it just reminded me of one of the wedge cars I saw on the field.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the wedges.
Wanted to
This
bring
was
it
like
up.
the year of the wedges.
I feel like there were a lot of Lamborghinis, a lot of Countaches, a lot of Diablos for sale. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when we were at
Mecum.
Mecum.
At Mecum.
So then after we left RM, we went to Mecum.
I saw Dana Mecum on the field.
Oh, did you?
Oh, really?
At Pebble Beach 2 years ago when
Oh,
I was
okay.
there.
Awesome.
Yeah, they had a display of like 30s hot rods,
Uh-huh.
and he owned one.
That,
So-
you know, Mecum for me,
Mecum was great.
I always like thought of Mecum as just like a muscle car, kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
And then when we went, the detail, like
Yeah.
fantastic. I really
Yeah.
kind of, you know, I sold it off, and then when I actually went, I'm like, this is, and the people that worked there were great. Just like the whole
We got
vibe and
shuttled around
everything.
on a golf
was-
cart. It was
and
really nice.
they had the owners there too. So like if you saw some, you know, custom hot rod, like the owner would be just like standing next to it and would basically tell you all about the car,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
I
It was
tried
so
to say
cool.
hi to Dana Mecum on the field, but
How did it go? I feel like you're always
It
trying to
didn't-
say hi to
I
the
know, I'm
celebrities.
yeah. You know, the nicest celebrity is Jason Camissa, and he's just a car guy. And
You're
So you
right.
can compare notes with him about cars.
He's not a real celebrity. He's just a car journalist.
Yeah, I know.
He is a car journalist.
Yeah.
But he's got some celebrity.
He has a following, a
He's
large
got-
following.
yeah,
I mean,
he
Dana
does.
Mecum is not a celebrity.
No, because a lot of people would.
He
If you
owns
said
an
if
auction
you
house.
well, if you said it depends in the car world, Dana Mecum probably is more known because you know it's Dana Mecum. But outside of that, no. But some people may have heard of Mecum auctions and to say that you know that's who's behind it. But so RM was $60. We did not pay. Don't pay for
Did not pay.
Don't pay for RM. Just look from the outside, unless you just want to touch the cars because they do let you touch the cars at RM.
Get
If
in
you
the
pay
car.
the $60, can you go bid?
No.
That's a
That's a
different.
different fee.
Oh,
but it's
really?
probably just, you know, I was gonna like.
You
there
gonna go
was-
bid?
At
Mecum.
Mecum,
Yeah,
there was
There's
a Viper,
No reserve.
no reserve Viper, and
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like
I know.
I could drive home with this because it.
And then spin out and crash into
Yeah,
a
and
tree.
then have to get another one. No, it was like a SRT coupe. Had like
It looked good.
30,000 miles on it.
No
but the-
stripe.
No stripe.
Yep.
Really clean. The problem with Vipers is that nobody really wants them, and there's a bunch of other stuff.
That's why we should be buying them now.
Oh no, I'm gonna get
I know,
one.
yeah.
I'm
They're
working
awesome
on it.
cars.
We're working on it. They're very cheap right now, like $30,000-$40,000. Wow. The problem with Vipers is the interior. But with a couple of things, you can fix that. Also, the coupe has a different rear end than the convertible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The
Like,
coupe
is it because of a subframe? And then
all it is that the coupe kind of has like this shell that kind of comes.
Okay.
This like really
Oh, yeah.
kind of sweeped like
right, because it
ducktail,
has
like,
a roof
yeah,
versus no roof.
Yeah.
for the Roadster.
Whereas like on the Roadster, the tail lights like kind of you can see the tail lights wrap all the way around.
Yeah.
Like it's really obvious once you put them side to side. But you can put the SRT rear end on the convertible, and then it looks really nice.
Would you get a coupe or a convertible?
I'm gonna get the convertible,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna put the SRT rear end on it.
Oh.
That's currently my plan. Like Car Week just makes me think about the cars.
Just spinning your wheels.
We're
like
gonna-
literally
like
gears.
our next episode's going to be like our future car plans.
Future car plan.
based on this week's.
Miles can't stop buying cars that may spontaneously combust on any given point in time.
So where'd you go after RM?
RM, we went to Mecum. Mecum was $30, but totally worth it. They do it at the Hyatt
It was
Regency.
awesome.
Yeah.
And they have I
Awesome.
forget the name of the golf course behind the Hyatt Regency down in Monterey, but it was probably the best event we went to that day because like Mecum probably had like, whereas RM probably had like 30, 40 cars. Mecum had like
100 plus.
150,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
100 plus cars. And they're all spread out across the golf course, plus everything that's in the parking lot. 'Cause
parking
you're
lot's pretty cool.
Well, you're parking on the golf course.
Yeah.
And the auction's just happening live. Like they're doing it
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to look at. There's and it was really easy. Like it was a really easy event to find. There's people guiding
Yeah,
you,
there's no
people
like
parking
cars
you.
that are like walled off or like roped off
and you
or
can
whatever.
go up to everything.
Yeah, you can check
I
them out.
love that.
Yeah,
It's cool. It's really cool.
And once again, an inexpensive event at Car Week, $30.
We saw one highlight of Mecum. We overheard or saw Ford, like a GT40 Ford GT40s sell for $7.2 million.
Yeah, so we were just like walking around, and then I hear the announcer. I'm like, he's like 7.1, 7.2, and then I'm like 7,000, 7, and then he like said 7 mil 1, 7. I was like, what is going across the auction block?
Crazy.
And then we all
That
kind
is
of like the
insane.
entire crowd like starts like migrating over there, and I'm trying to look and see what was up on the screen, but it was a Ford GT40 lightweight. It was
like a backup car.
It was a backup race car that never got used.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Then like everything matching.
Everything, frame and shell, like everything was original.
It was
which
one
is
of the higher
pretty
cars
rare
from
for a
the
Ford
weekend.
GT.
Yeah. I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know that goes back to like that $459 million worth of cars being sold.
It's one of
That's
them.
an average selling price of over $1 million per car because there wasn't 400 cars trading hands down there. You know, so maybe at 400, but even then, that's still more than $1 million
Yeah,
per
because
car.
you got RM, you got Mecum, you got Gooding. And
Gooding.
Oh, Gooding, yeah. Forgot about that.
Is that
It's
it?
the fourth one, maybe.
I think that's mostly it.
Is Barrett Jackson there?
No,
No.
it would be nice if they did come though, but it might just be a lot of that's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But once again, that even just speaks to like because we went from one part of the city to another part of
Yeah,
to
we
a
were all
different
over the
city
place.
to another city, and the whole time, and this is a part of the experience for Car Week, and I kind of wanted my coworkers to see it because they had never been. Is everywhere you go, there's something. There's stuff parked on
Something
the
to
street.
see.
There's stuff parked
Yeah.
at the hotels.
Yeah, we
there's an
saw a
event
whole
happening there.
convoy of Koenigseggs come
Just
the other
coming
way.
our way on the
Yeah.
highway. When we were at when we were at RM, it's like downtown Monterey. Just a Daytona SP3 just driving.
Yeah, it's
by.
like what, a $5 million car?
Yeah,
new.
you know, right, and it's just rare, one
Just
of one,
chilling,
two.
just-
I remember one year, me and a buddy, we were leaving out of Werks, and there was like this COK convertible just like sitting on the, and I'm like, who put this body kit on this COK? It was a COK DTM.
Got to look more stuff up.
It was like a COK DTM convertible. So the
Yeah,
COK
55
had
AMG.
so it was the COK Black Series, which we had here in the U.S.
Yep.
Then there was like the COK like DTM like street version that they had in Europe. Then there's a convertible version of that car,
Yeah.
and I think there's only 55 or
There's only 55. I feel like there's only 55 in the world.
Yeah, and it's just parked there on the street.
It's like one of the rarest
roof down.
Mercedes ever.
But yeah, that's a lot of what Car Week is kind of about. It's just car spotting and just seeing just the craziness.
Yeah.
There's also the really funny video of the dude with his Aston Martin Valkyrie and it ran out of gas.
Oh, that's a kind of an infamous video.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. There's also been some shenanigans that have happened at car weeks. You know,
Yeah,
people doing
because
donuts.
you get a lot of the influencers who.
Yeah. But I feel
But
like
I didn't see any of that this year.
we didn't, because there was a huge police presence and they were like blocking off the road.
But
you know,
mostly
in
at Carmel. So Carmel is like the further south you go during Car Week. Because essentially you start in Seaside, Monterey.
Yep.
It's like our version of Woodside, if
Yeah.
you think about it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and then 17 Mile Drive.
Or
so
Woodward,
17 Mile Drive
Woodward,
is like
yeah.
a gated kind of golf course community.
Yeah.
And it's Oceanside and stuff like that. And there's a lot of these very large mansions there. So this is also like
Fancy.
the appeal for Car Week. So a lot of the auto manufacturers, they'll rent or they own houses in 17 Mile Drive, and they'll do like customer experiences
Events or
events
debut
at
cars.
these homes.
Yeah.
So I know for sure like BMW always has
Mercedes.
a house. Mercedes always has a house. Jaguar Land Rover. You know, I think Maserati even had one this year.
Yep.
And they all kind of have them inside of 17 Mile Drive. And then there's like another section near like Pebble where they kind of section like off like the roads and some of those event spaces out there like outside of the golf course for like just events throughout the week where you can kind of see like some of the automakers and other little because I think that's where not R&M but what was the other auction?
Gooding.
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 I think that's where Gooding happens is down at Pebble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In that little kind of event space.
So there's
outside of
I don't know what they call it. There's a corral area
Mm-hmm.
that has Gooding, and it's got some shops and some displays. It's
Yeah.
just outside of the 18th.
Yeah. So once everybody's done in like all of these places, everybody kind of heads down to Carmel at the end of the night. It was kind of
They don't wait.
Huh?
They don't wait.
No, they don't. Carmel is kind of busy all day, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like the final destination.
Most
of Car
people
Week.
have like dinner plans.
dinner
right?
plans down at
Yeah.
Carmel.
I drove down Ocean Avenue at like, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. It was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
It was
it's pretty
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are either coming from that direction. Because it's once again, it's a really nice place where you can rent a house and you know have every. Because we were just like walking through the neighborhood, and there was like a house had like a Carrera GT in the driveway, and like
that's crazy.
all of these like other little cars. But
I saw a Bugatti Chiron street parked on Ocean Avenue.
oh yeah, definitely that will happen. And just once again, just cars you'll never see on the road again, just all show up in this place. Tell us about Pebble. How was that for you? So you volunteered.
It was awesome. Yeah. So
What did they have you doing?
All right. So my goal. Let me just preface this. My goal, since I paid to go last time, was to be able to go see the cars again without paying. Right?
Yeah.
I'm cheap. And so I've tried to volunteer the past 2 years, and I've been waitlisted every time because apparently a lot of people want to volunteer.
Of course,
wow.
I want to get in somewhere
Same
free.
reasons,
Yeah.
maybe. But I got called a few months ago by the hospitality committee.
Oh.
And so here was my job. My job was to go to an $1,100 a person hospitality tent and hand out gift bags.
That was your sole job.
I would
That
have
was
been
my
there
sole job.
handing
It was
them
awesome.
gift bags out.
And they split it into 2 shifts, right? So I had the late shift, but I still drove down there. I mean, I was there at like 6 a.m.
Okay.
because the field opens.
Right, and you're allowed
so you
in.
can
So
just-
and you're allowed in, and so I had 3.5 hours to wander the
Wonderful.
field and
Oh,
look
that's
at
sick.
all of the cars before it gets really crowded.
Yeah.
And then, when time came, I went up the hill, walked past the Gooding tent to the I forget what it was called, Concours Elegance tent or something. Handed out gift bags, and then we broke for lunch, and we got to partake in the same food that they were.
Wonderful.
It was really, really awesome.
That's
A lot
awesome.
of
What
fun.
was your
So-
besides the remock and the
Yeah, no. All right. So I
You made a list.
There was a special class this year. They invited wedge cars.
Yes.
So concept cars
in the shape of a wedge?
in the shape of a wedge. There were 3 that stuck out to me. One was a Lancia, and I forget the model. I don't have a picture of it here. I'll share pictures so we can put
Are you
it up.
talking about the rally car, the Stratus?
No. It is a wedge concept car.
Oh, it's a concept car.
Yeah, all of
And
these were
it-
like concepts.
Yeah, and so you get into it through the front, like the
Oh,
windshield.
I've seen this before.
Yeah.
And like the steering wheel too is part of that, right?
Yeah. It kind of looked like a death trap, but it was really cool looking. So there was that. You know what a Vector W8
W12 is,
Or,
yeah. W8.
Yeah, W8, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, it had like
Okay.
helicopter gauges and stuff. It was kind of a wild car.
There was one there. I remember
sick.
reading about that in Car and Driver as a kid.
It has a transverse like Buick, like Ford, like RV engine or something
Oh,
like
wow.
that. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Kind of weird looking, but it was cool to see it in person. Probably one of the neatest ones was the Aerovet. So, you think,
Aerovet?
yeah, all right. Think of a Corvette C8. They
Yeah.
finally have in production a mid-engine Corvette, right? But the concept of a mid-engine Corvette is not new. It's
Right, it's
something
been around
that
forever.
While ago.
Zora,
Right.
you
Z.
know.
Mr. Z.
Mr. Z, was
Well,
talking
that
about-
was the project name for the C8 before it came out.
What, Zora? Well, it's named after Zora
Right.
Arcus Dunta. I almost said Dunta of Arc. I had to, it's
Get
got a
the-
hyphenated last name. So the Aerovet was sorry, we'll
Once
put a
we-
picture up for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Oh, okay.
mid-engine
yeah.
Corvette
That's so cool.
concept. And
That's
it was
cool.
there, and it was way
Wow.
cool.
I think the one
And there were others, but
I didn't get to go, but one of that was kind of all over my Instagram feed was like the Mercedes C1000. I think that's what it's called.
yeah, I think it was there too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Is
have a
that the
picture.
rotary engine car?
No, it's like the really funny looking Mercedes concept thing.
No, it had a rotary engine
Did
in
it
it.
have a rotary engine? I
Yeah.
don't have my phone with recording us, but that was a cool one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was this year or like a previous year. I guess Kanye West, he has like a all black like wedge looking rolling thing, and
Yeah.
and I feel like I saw pictures of it, was like, was that on the lawn this year? But it
don't
literally
think
just looks
so.
like a trapezoid.
Yeah. So there's that. There were like some Queens vehicles, some of the Queens vehicles. So like a
Oh,
bunch of
okay.
Land Rovers that were kitted up.
Bulletproof.
Yeah. And then there's a couple that I see in Hillsborough, which is a local concours here in the summer every year, that also show on Pebble Beach. And so I saw them. So I said to say hi to Mrs. Weiss.
Oh, nice.
Really nice lady from Southern California. Yeah, that was it.
That's
It was
cool.
awesome.
You know, as much that happens down at Car Week, I feel like if you can make it down there one day and just kind of explore, it's worth it.
Worth it.
Get
And
you
you
a nice group of friends.
And everything's free. Like if you want to
Exactly.
go on the cheap, maybe the most expensive thing that you pay for is lunch or parking.
But even our lunch was so Jack and Cameron actually showed me that
Don't give
restaurant.
away our secrets.
Oh dang, I can't tell us.
Yeah.
Don't
No.
give away our secrets.
Just know we had a really nice lunch spot, but I will not tell you where it was
Oh, it's so clutch.
because we didn't have to fight for a table or anything.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
will
it's so
never
nice.
know.
Tell me off camera.
We'll tell
you off
you,
camera.
Jeremy, so you know for next year.
Yeah.
We can all go down there together.
That was great.
Next year, I need to plan better and do more. I need to plan time off work is what I need to do.
So here's
Yeah.
the other side of Car Week. I was talking to some of my coworkers about this. They're like, how do we get these vehicles to go down in Car Week? And I'm like, for us,
the project vehicles or
not
like,
project vehicles, but just
in general.
press cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, or just to get into, because who I work for, we're associated with a lot of brands and a lot of them are down there. It's like, how do we go? And I'm like, you ask. If you don't ask, they don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know the interest, you know, but if you ask and you build up the relationship now, by the time next year comes around, it won't be a problem. You know, because I already know who I'm going to talk to. His name is at the top of my list and he's going to make it happen for me somehow. If not, we'll figure it out. Hopefully the podcast, you know, takes off. Me and James have some viral moment or something. But no, it's that's also another part of Car Week. It's just the big manufacturer presence. We were in the parking lot at Spanish Bay, and there was like a billion.
The parking lot in Spanish Bay is cherry.
Oh yeah, perfect.
It is
Wait.
awesome.
Are you giving away a secret?
No.
I
Spanish
mean,
Bay is
it's-
where everybody goes.
Yeah.
But
it's like where a lot of the journalists and people.
yeah, I feel like that's where they're all staying, or at least that's where all the cars end up.
Yeah.
Because even
Because it's central.
while we were there, because the new Navigator was revealed this weekend in Monterey.
Okay.
And they just had one on the truck, and they were like unloading it off of like a
Yeah.
truck, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." We saw, what did we see in that
all
parking lot?
kinds of crazy stuff.
They had the new Bentley. They had like 30 of the new Bentley Continental GTs.
Big
with, like,
presence from them
plates.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bentley had a really big presence down there. And then there was an electric G wagon in the parking lot.
There was the G650.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, there was one at the Mercedes display.
Oh, was there?
There's a
Doing
bunch
donuts.
of Mercedes also did a
or
bunch
the
of stuff
tank
too.
turns.
Do it.
Yeah.
Doing it the tank turn. So the
Oh,
electric.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so the electric G wagon has a feature, and they allow you to do this, just like the bouncy thing. You go in the cluster,
Yeah.
and then like you like select like it's like where the like diff lock button is. I
Yeah.
think Matt Watson on Carl has a really nice video explaining how this works, and then like you hold like whatever paddle for whatever direction you want to go in,
Yeah.
and then it'll just do a tank turn. So like for those of you that don't know what a tank turn is, it uses the front wheels and the rear wheels turning at the same time to literally just spin the car
There's a
around in
concept,
place.
Ioniq 5 that I think has a similar feature.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But why would
this
you
is a
actually do that on the road? You know, how, like that messes
Well,
up your tires.
Yeah, it's just a lot of tire. It's a lot of tire scrub.
Speaking
It's
of-
almost as bad as doing a burnout.
Of weird tire scrub and weird turns, I saw a Hummer EV for the first time on the way home.
Oh, you've never seen one?
I've never
Did
seen
you
one in
see the
person.
pickup
It's kind
one,
of
or
ugly.
did you see the SUV
The
one?
pickup one.
So the SUV
It's odd
ones are
looking.
at dealerships now too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we
Which
saw
I think,
one. We saw a couple.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
The Hummer EV has the crab walk feature.
That's why I bring it up. Yeah.
Which also the new Escalade IQ will also have when it comes out. But all that is that all four wheels can turn to the left or to the right. In a
It won't
monster
go
truck,
opposite also.
no, I was gonna say this. In a monster truck, it also has four-wheel steer where
Yeah,
it'll like,
yeah.
you know, you could make it really tight.
In the
turn.
opposite directions
It'd be
or
really
whatever.
nice if it did. It might have rear steer, but not as crazy as how the crab walk is, where it'll just move the whole vehicle
Right.
to one side. But yeah, I mean the cars, they gotta keep the gimmicks going. They gotta spice it up somehow. I like the little gimmicky stuff, you know. It's fun. It's fun, especially if it's not hurting nobody. It's fun, you know.
Yeah.
All right, next year we got to plan more.
Yeah, plan more.
Yeah.
Car Week takes a lot of planning, especially if you want to stay down there.
Yeah.
I know like last minute I had found like a nice little place, but the gang
It
wasn't
just-
feeling it.
Fell through. Yeah.
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 If you want a house in 17 Mile Drive for the weekend, and this is very possible.
Hit the lottery.
Yeah. I think I was just looking for fun.
Yeah.
$100,000.
For the week?
for like 4 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for like 4 days down there.
How many of your
crap.
friends could you get together to go in on that?
Not enough. Not enough.
Cost that
So
down.
what it is once again the automakers, they haven't ruined it, but the problem is because they have so much money, they drive the price up.
It's
just a little
corporate,
bit.
right? Yeah.
Because they can afford it. They're like, oh shit, like we forgot to order a house, guys. Like, where's the budget? We have the budget.
Let's
know?
be clear. There's lots of other places to stay than
Of
70 Mile
course.
Drive, right?
Oh yeah. But even then, even if you stay on the outskirts in Monterey or Seaside, once again, you need to be booking in January. Now. Yeah. Now. You need to start calling your friends today.
Yeah.
You need to start purchasing your tickets yesterday.
If you want to
crazy.
volunteer at the Pebble Beach Concours, you need to be signing up.
The
today.
link is open now.
You got to fill the application out.
Yeah. Okay, so next year I think we should judge at Legends and Works because that's much easier to do. Because I invited Amish.
judge?
Yeah, because I invited Amish to come talk about it because he judged last year, but he was busy.
Oh, that's right. He did. It works.
Yeah, he did at Works.
Oh, cool.
But he said he just signed up. And Amish owns
That's true.
a Porsche, but he said a lot of the people who were there judging didn't own them.
Okay.
Just to kind of get in there, once again, just to meet more people. If you're judging someone's car, you never know whose car you may be judging.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's one way to kind of do it. But yeah, I think the best way to do Car Week is you take Thursday, Friday off, you go down Wednesday night.
Yep.
You find a nice little Airbnb in Monterey Seaside or on the outskirts near the racetrack down in Monterey. Because also that's also happening. Like the Motorsports reunion, like the Rolex reunion is happening at Laguna Seca all week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And these are like the $20 million, $50 million Ferrari, whatever, moving
crazy.
in motion. All the old F1 cars. And I was so, I wanted to go, but because we only went down for one day, I didn't make it. But, Sauber C9 is, one of my favorite, Le Mans cars. And, it just sounds so good. I just wish I could have went down there to see it. They also have another nice event to go to at the racetrack is the hill climb, where they do the back half of Laguna Seca in reverse.
They had all kinds of cars doing that.
Yeah, and that what is it called?
The fan car?
Yeah, the
McMarthy?
fan car, the one that was at Goodwood. It has a fan that sucks it into the ground. Not the old jet ones, not the white wedge looking ones, but there's a newer one.
And it's electric?
Yeah.
And it's really
I know.
small. It has 2,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
And it
It
set the
breaks
record
every
at
single hill
Goodwood.
climb record.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to put a picture of that up.
I have
That's
to
cool.
figure out the name of it. But that was there too. It was pretty fun. I was just checking time, guys. We're already at an hour. It goes by so
that was
fast.
fast.
I know.
But
Jeez.
Car Week is
When
just
you talk cars, it just goes fast.
yeah,
I know.
and Car Week is
You're a
just
car guy.
Car Week is a lot
Car
to talk
person.
about, but it's so much fun. I think everybody should at least try it once. All of my people,
Even
on
if
the,
you're not a car person, I
I
think you
agree.
should check it out.
There's
I
something
think
for everyone.
Yeah.
go with somebody who can.
Family event, too.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a
Go with the
lot.
kids.
There's a lot to do and just a lot to see. You throw all the kids in the car, roll the windows down.
Mm-hmm.
You could
Entertainment for hours.
literally could just be pointing out stuff all day.
Yeah.
And I won't say that Car Week is easily walkable because it's not. Once again, geographically, it's just it's spread out very far.
I mean, there's pieces of
There's
it that are
pockets.
walkable, but you gotta
Yeah.
drive.
But you're
to get
driving
there.
around.
Yeah.
But the event parking, Monterey isn't a tight city, so there's lots of parking. We found parking pretty easy everywhere we went.
Yeah.
We did a lot of street parking, and that's another thing. If you didn't want to street park your Bugatti, taking a cheaper car is always an option.
Yeah. Or you could take your
Although-
helicopter,
Yeah.
and then
Land on
grab
the ground.
grab it, and then
Actually,
Although when we street parked at Lemons, there was a man in front of us who was street parked in a brand new Maybach S600.
there were some
Yo.
people that had their
Yeah.
super yachts anchored off of the 18th green at Pebble Beach,
really?
too. So
Oh,
that's another
sick.
option.
oh, super yachts.
Yeah. I've been looking at a new yacht,
New super yacht.
a new yacht.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, the $20-25 million price range.
Cecilia and I, we're working on the interior of our third super yacht.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yes. There's wood everywhere, imported from the Maldives.
Whatever.
If they even have trees there, I don't know.
No, it's Amazonian
Oh, yeah,
redwood or
birch.
whatever. Yeah.
It's like rainbow eucalyptus.
Actually, my Facebook feed presented me with a classic 1965 Chris Craft yacht last night that was full of Philippine mahogany, and it was gorgeous.
I'm sure it
Well,
was.
Jeremy,
And it was
I define cheap.
$57,000.
Oh,
The
But I would
problem
run
is
away because
maintaining that.
it was a wooden boat. Like,
yeah, you gotta. Yeah, it's
no
a
thanks.
disaster.
Yeah, no, wood boat don't sound right. Yeah, so car week.
Car
Do
week.
it, enjoy it.
Yep. August, second week of August, right?
Second week of August.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. It's been like a month, right, since we did a.
Yeah, it has been a month. We've been trying to keep up. I know I started school, so like I'm like just
Busy?
well, I was also traveling for work too. So there was that.
Yeah, we're all
we were all
traveling.
traveling for work.
Yeah.
But no, this was
Like
fun.
us, subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
So we don't have
Instagram.
to work anymore, and then we'll do.
I
this
know.
more
Then we'll
often.
just do this more often.
Oh, like Jason Camisa.
Yeah, this is his. Whoa.
No, he does a lot of
How
stuff.
does
He
he,
does a
make
lot of
money?
stuff.
He works for Haggerty. Technically, he's on the
Yeah.
payroll of Haggerty,
Yeah.
right?
In their marketing department.
Full-time.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So him and a lot of other automotive journalists and people, I guess there's multiple kind of ways to kind of break into the car community.
Multiple revenue streams.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of them they've been doing it for years. They didn't just come onto the scene.
Yeah, they didn't just like pop out nowhere and be like,
I know for sure, like a lot of them, they were just like us. They started out either writing for magazines or they had parents who worked in industry, and they just kept at it and they never stopped. They kept meeting people and they kept growing and they kept just getting out there.
Yep.
So and Car Week is a good example of that and what it can become if you just go out there and go get it in the automotive industry. So yeah,
Cool.
this has been our Car Week podcast.
ooh, the next podcast, what are we going to talk about? Because I just thinking of like Jason Camisa, there's this really old video about the Lexus LFA. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that.
I saw an LFA.
I didn't
You
see
saw
one
an
at
LFA?
all. Like
Yeah.
the whole, I've seen them before, but I didn't see one at all the whole weekend.
There's a special display of Japanese cars up the hill from the concours.
okay.
Oh, like Toyota 2000 GT.
Yeah, I don't know
NSX.
if there's anything like that there,
Yeah.
but NSX, I think Toyota Serra, and there was an LFA sitting there.
Oh, sick.
So what were you gonna say about the LFA?
So the LFA was like one of the most expensive cars Toyota has ever made.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they lost some ungodly amount of money on
Yes.
each car. But the thing is, when they first brought them,
You could only lease them.
Well, there's a reason why, because they couldn't sell any of them. And literally the last LFA to be sold was like in 2015 or
That's
2016
crazy. Wow.
because the whatever some like windshield law was going to go in effect. So if they didn't sell the car, they had to like crush the car or something like
Oh,
that.
dang.
Oh, wow.
So the dealership bought it from themselves for like $1.
Oh, my
or
God.
something stupid like that.
Yeah.
But like nobody really appreciated like all the tech
Yeah.
and engineering that
LFA
went
was
in
a
the car.
Crazy car.
Yeah.
It's a pretty wild. I've never driven one before. I've always wanted to. I think there were a lot of like very
Somebody out
polarizing opinions on
there,
the car.
LFA.
And so just the reason why I bring that up is like there's an old Jason Camisa video of, I think he was either working for Motor Trend or Auto Week at the time, and he's so nerdy. It's so freaking funny. We gotta find a clip of it and
Yeah.
put it up there. It's just the Jason Camisa that we know now and the Jason Camisa that we saw like 10 or 12
No,
years
I
ago.
feel like he's still really nerdy.
He's still
I've
that.
only seen him in passing.
Yeah, but I guess you grow into your role over time and you get
Yeah.
better and better and better at it, right? As I hope
He's
we
just
do.
like he's super aggressive in that video.
But he's also really well educated in like
yeah.
everything cars and just
Yeah.
normal stuff as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think he does a lot of fact checking.
yeah.
before
Besides
he-
like me, I'm just like I'm
we're
pretty
here-
sure
I'm
this
wrong.
has
I'm
a-
wrong about the C1000. That's the low tech C1000. That car was a race car for like the Sultan of Brunei.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
See, a little Google never hurt anybody,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with being wrong
Exactly.
occasionally.
it's just for entertainment purposes,
Of
right?
course,
Yeah.
we have full-time jobs where we're smart at work.
Not really, but yeah. At least for me.
I might be a little. Nah, I'm pretty smart at work. I have really dumb moments. I won't lie. I have some pretty blonde moments at work, but most of the time I'm pretty knowledgeable at work.
I got a really smart team that works for me.
That is a great way to put it. Yes.
And Jeremy's like, I just point my finger and it happens.
Well, not really, but
I
do
point
have a
my
smart team
my
that works for
finger and my team says that can't happen. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
I'm the one telling,
Which is good. Like,
I'm
that's
the
a
one
good
telling
thing.
the team what can't happen. I'm just like, guys, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. We'll
Cool.
figure out what we're going to talk about next. I don't know. What's happening in the car world?
We need to start figuring out what we're talking about next, like in advance, so we can,
do some research.
Give a little teaser. No, give a little teaser.
A teaser. I
Keep people on
feel
the
like
hook.
maybe the Lexus LFA, maybe certain cars from an engineering perspective, like the BMW 8 Series, right? Like so overly engineered, almost like an ego trip of, this car is.
That could be our next topic.
It could be an interesting topic.
We can do a topic like this. Cars that could have been.
Ooh.
The cars that could have been.
That were, they became, and they may have came later in life.
Yeah.
But I think maybe we could all come up with the list of cars that people like literally threw everything they had at it. And it didn't live up to what they thought it would. But then like 10 years later, now all of a sudden they're
People
all
appreciate it.
$3 trillion.
Yeah, that and things like mid-engine Corvettes that were dreamed of in the 60s that
I
didn't
think-
come to reality.
I think-
There's
until-
probably a lot of Japanese cars during the inflationary era that meet that, like a Mitsubishi 3000 GT, VR4,
Hey,
right?
Did you see
Yeah.
pictures of the new 3000 GT?
Wait,
Oh,
what?
there's a new one?
They're
I
gonna
didn't
make
see
it
that. Oh.
from Mitsubishi?
Yes.
No.
It's not an SUV, is it?
No, it's not like the four-door Mustang or the
Well, no, the
two-door
Eclipse came back as an
Camaro.
SUV as well.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
I'll have to look
3000
that up.
GT sports car.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I know Honda's compared with the Prelude. So, next episode, we're going to do our research. Cars that could have been, and then also cars that were, that
Later.
eventually became. So,
Love it.
wonderful.
Until
All right.
next time.
Until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Hit them.